Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for 23 ABC News at 6. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight's top stories. We are following breaking news tonight. Bakersfield police confirming the suspect in a recent downtown stabbing may be connected to 2 other stabbings. The new details from officials tonight. And on the path to finding a treatment, a local blood bank collecting plasma from recovered COVID-19 patients, and they're looking for more. How those who have overcome the virus can now help others. Plus, sports fans may have something to finally look forward to. We have a sneak peek of the NFL draft, the first sporting event to be televised since the COVID-19 outbreak changed athletics. Allison?
Temperatures will be dropping as we head into your Friday. I have more details on just how much rain you can expect when 23 ABC News at 6 starts right now.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight. It's a story 23 ABC has been covering since Tuesday night. A stabbing in downtown Bakersfield that left a woman badly injured. We were the first to bring you surveillance video of that attack this evening. Police telling us they now believe the suspect may be connected to 2 other recent attacks. According to BPD, the 3 stabbing incidents happened on March 14th on 21st Street, April 2nd on Kentucky Street, and this week on Tuesday, April 14th near 19th and O Streets. BPD said the suspect description in all 3 incidents is similar in the manner in which the victims were assaulted. All 3 victims were determined to be homeless women who frequent the area. The suspect is described as a man between the age of who's around the age of 18, tall with a thin build and wearing a black hooded sweatshirt. Investigators have conducted a detailed canvass of the area to check for potential witnesses and video related to the incidents. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information asked to call BPD at 327-7111. Now to the new information on COVID-19 in Kern County. The Public Health Department releasing its latest data that will now only be updated once a day. That's because of a new dashboard they say will better inform the public of the latest cases and test results regarding COVID-19 in Kern County. The new numbers showing that although positive cases are rising, there is good news. For example, the number of negative test results makes up for more than half of all tests administered. The fact is, more people are testing negative for coronavirus than they are testing positive. Also, the number of people recovering is quickly rising as well. Now, health officials say as of today, there's a total of 574 people who tested positive for coronavirus. 565 of those are local residents, 9 are non-residents. Of that number, 203 infected residents have since recovered. There are 22 currently hospitalized. Officials also reported there are more than 4,200 who have tested negative. There are still over 3,200 tests that are pending. And there are 283 cases from Bakersfield East, 183 from Bakersfield West, 68 from the Valley region, 15 in the mountain area, 16 in the desert region. For the latest news on the coronavirus cases in Kern County, be sure to head to our website, turnto23.com. Today, Houchin Community Blood Bank announced they collected their first COVID-19 convalescent plasma from a fully recovered patient. Convalescent plasma is an investigational treatment being explored for COVID-19 that contains immune-boosting antibodies that may help those critically ill from COVID-19 fight the disease. These 600 milliliters of plasma collected today from the very unique donation will be supplied to a Kern County hospital to treat COVID-19 patients in need. Officials at Houchin saying fully recovered COVID-19 patients can donate up to 1,000 milliliters of plasma depending on their weight and blood counts. Every 200 milliliters of plasma may save a life of a COVID-19 patient. Houchin Community Blood Bank will continue collecting and distributing convalescent plasma and are expanding their capacity to do even more in the coming days and weeks. Donors have to meet all of the regular criteria for giving blood and meet FDA screening procedures as well. Recovered patients who want to donate are asked to call 616-2575 to make an appointment. In an update to a story we first told you about last week, today an alumnus from Cal State Bakersfield has announced that the Fab Lab where he works has produced the first of what he hopes will be thousands of face shields to help healthcare workers on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. CSUB alum Bobby Hartsock works at the Fab Lab, the Center of Ingenuity and Innovation at the university, where students and the public can get help from university staff and use the lab's equipment. That includes 3D printers and lasers. The Fab Fab Lab was asked to help with the effort of making protective equipment for frontline healthcare workers. On Monday, the Kern County Public Health Services Department received 250 face shields outside the University Police Department, the first agency to be issued the personal protective equipment manufactured in the Fab Lab. The Fab Lab can produce 16 face shields a day, but with community support, they can make 100. The Fab Lab runs its 3D printers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the Face Shield project. Well, for those of you keeping track at home, it's been 36 days since the sports world began to shut down. Next week, the NFL will provide a glimmer of action with its annual draft broadcast right here on 23 ABC. Our sports reporter Matt Lively is here to give you an in-depth look at who some of your teams may be drafting.
I don't know about you, but I'm sick of playing games like Madden to fill the sports void. Thankfully, the NFL Draft next Thursday will provide the first live sports coverage in over a month. I turned to NFL analyst Dane Brugler of The Athletic to see what the Las Vegas Raiders and LA Chargers might do during the draft. He thinks the Raiders will take a wide receiver in round 1 to help out Bakersfield native Derek Carr.
They might be in a position to draft the best receiver in the draft at that point. There might not be a receiver off the board in the first 11 picks. So, that'll be an interesting opportunity for them, especially if they have their eye on a specific receiver.
In round 3, he thinks prominent college QB Jalen Hurts could test his luck in Vegas as a backup.
Even if they did draft a Jalen Hurts, I don't think it really says anything about Carr necessarily, because Jalen Hurts is a player that you just want to add to your quarterback room. He makes everybody else better.
For the Chargers, the Athletic writer has them choosing a new face of the franchise with Tua Tagovailoa, a star in college who is often injured.
If Justin Herbert ends up going 5 to the Dolphins, and that means Tua is on the board at number 6, what's the medical situation? What's their appetite for risk? Are they on board taking a chance on a really talented player who has his history of being off the field because of injuries?
He thinks they'll grab a speedster in Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State in round 2.
He has the speed that makes corners, really struggle to adjust and, adjust their pursuit angles. And he does not break stride when he catches the football. And he has an extra gear where he can hit it and go.
This year's draft will be somewhat virtual. Players, teams, and the commissioner himself will all be in separate locations.
I think it's going to be really interesting from the viewer standpoint because everything's going to be different. There's not going to be that podium, and teams are going to go to Roger Goodell and, the big bear hug and things like that.
Brugler said that some teams with newer front offices may lack communication skills and really suffer with this new style. 23 ABC News is your home for everything NFL Draft, which begins next Thursday at 4 p.m. For 23 ABC Sports, I'm Matt Lively, connecting you.
All right, Matt, looking forward to that draft. We want to take you into the Live Center because we know a lot of sports fans were disappointed when the COVID-19 outbreak resulted in the cancellation of many sports seasons, such as basketball. But with the NFL season approaching and the slight possibility stadiums might be open by then, a significant number of fans believe that sports shouldn't return for the remainder of the year. That's according to a poll from Seton Hall University, which is featured in this article here. It's been trending on our website all day. In the article's poll, 40% of respondents believe that professional sports should not be played for the remainder of 2020. And as the headline says, 72% of fans say they won't feel safe watching a sporting event in person until a coronavirus vaccine has been developed. Now, health experts believe that in a best case scenario, a vaccine would be available in the fall of 2021. But we wanted to ask you, our local sports fans, about what you thought and how you would feel. So we created a Facebook poll asking if you would feel comfortable attending a sporting event without a vaccine in place. So far, we've had nearly 700 votes. I'm going to click on one just so that we can see the percentage. 38% of people are saying that they would feel safe. They want to go. 62% saying that they are staying away. So if you would like to cast your vote, if you haven't yet, please let us know. This is pinned at the top of our 23 ABC Facebook page. That way we can see what you think here in Kern County about whether or not you feel safe at a sporting event. Well, meanwhile, cycling's most famous race, the Tour de France, has been postponed to August 29th through September 20th due to the coronavirus pandemic. That means the race will not take place in its traditional June-July slot for the first time since the end of the Second World War. The French president said on Monday that no large-scale public event would take place in the country until mid-July as part of measures to contain the outbreak. The prestigious race was due to be held from June 27th to July 19th. 14th. Netflix is currently worth more money than Disney. You know, the company that owns Star Wars, Marvel, the mouse, yeah, all of that. Netflix's stock gained more than 3% yesterday and is now worth more than $187 billion. At the same time, Disney lost 2.5% and fell to $186.6 billion. Analysts say that Netflix is benefiting from people staying at home during the outbreak. Disney has its own streaming service, but its film and television divisions are taking massive hits while everyone stays at home. All right, let's start now and bring in 23 ABC's meteorologist Allison Gargero with a look at our forecast. Soak up that sunshine today. There is plenty of it, Allison.
I know it's going to be so nice to get outside and maybe get in that evening exercise because temperatures are going to be relatively warm as we head into the overnight hours. And boy, were we warm today. A high of 85 degrees here in Bakersfield. As you can see, that's 10 degrees above our seasonal average of 75 and actually tied the temperature for the warmest day of the year so far. The last time that we felt temperatures at 85 degrees was back on March 5th. And we continue to see the 80s here in the valley this evening, but it will be dropping down to the 70s as we head into the next several hours. As you can see, those clouds are going to be pushing south as we head into the overnight hours because wet weather is moving into the region. We are tracking our next low pressure system. That's going to be bringing the chance for some isolated thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. I have more details on just how much rain you can expect for your Friday coming up in just a few minutes.
Living in a locked down world seems to be bringing out the best and worst in our relationships, including a lasting impact on marriages. According to a new survey from True Public, almost 1/3 of couples under 35 years old in California say the stay-at-home order is having a negative effect on their relationship. But one local couple, married for almost 5 years, says they're grateful to be spending more time with each other than ever before. And it turns out they're not alone.
California is one of the states that has a higher number than most. 15% of people in California are saying my relationship is actually getting better with who I live with.
Just trying to find fun things or playing dumb games together. We were playing Animal Crossing together for a while, playing old Mario games, just trying to do fun stuff that we don't normally get to do.
So cool. Tomorrow at 5 a.m. find out what the survey says is the top reason couples are fighting during the stay-at-home order. We'll have that story and more on 23 ABC News at 5 a.m.